Hey everybody, it's your old pal the Moo Cow, aka Paul A. Presenza, here with Indie Film Cafe, and I'm joined by,
Jonathan A. Moody, your co-host.
yay, and then together, finally after a long, long absence, we are joined by,
Leila Toba.
Yeah, I
yay,
just figured it out. November was the last time we had you out here. We
Way
had you
too
on
long.
here. Way
Way
too
too
way,
long.
long.
way too long. I
So you
know.
said August, and I was like, wait, that seems too far away. It's close, you
When
know?
was the last one? I remember Octoman, but I know we did
No,
stuff after
we
Octoman.
did Future Kick. Future
We did
Kick.
what?
Future Kick.
Oh, Future Kick. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, so we got that, and that was mine. And then you said next time we get Lila on, yeah, it has to be one of mine. And I said,
That's
okay,
right.
that's
So
fair.
back we come with another creature feature. This
Oh no.
movie is called The Paradise Motel from 2022, written and directed by Walter Hochbrunner. And
And it has Starsome too.
wow, it is a movie. It really truly is. It's a movie.
Mm, it's a
I can
movie.
say that much.
All right. Are we
Have
gonna?
either of you guys seen this thing
No,
before
no.
or heard
Let's
of it?
get into that after we listen to some
What? What are we going to listen to?
mood music.
Good
Mood
music.
music.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we gonna listen to some mood music? Oh my God.
Music of the mood.
Moo.
Moo! Okay, we're back.
We're back.
So, had either of you seen or heard of this film before?
No.
No. All right, well, luckily for me, I guess Tubi knows what I like because this was, suggested to me by their wonderful little algorithm, like, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. And I watched it and I was like, oh my God, we've got to do this for Indie Film Cafe. It was just, it's on this ever expanding list that, every time I do one on that list, 10 more pop in and take its place. So, it's just one of those things. And before we get started on some of the folks here, there's a lot of bad acting to go around in this film, but I cannot blame most of what the ills of this thing on the actors. I really think it's more the writing and the directing that
Mhm.
really kill this film. But I wanted to hear what you guys had to think about it first.
So Lila, do you want to go first?
Sure. Actually, it turns out Jonathan and I were watching at the same time this afternoon, and he stopped me from watching the wrong Paradise Motel, which
No.
was good thing I was texting him because I almost watched the one from like 86.
Yeah, she was like
But
somebody from was it Twin Peaks was in it, and I
yeah,
was like,
I was so
no,
excited.
nobody from Twin Peaks
A
is in
wrong
this.
Twin Peaks, I'm afraid.
No doubt. But yeah, the best way I could describe this, as soon as I was like pretty close to finish, I texted Jonathan and I said, a movie about a destination that goes nowhere. That is the general takeaway. I feel like nothing happened the entire movie, and it was like not a bad concept. We got a sort of femme fatale almost situation going on, which is always exciting, but the whole time nothing happens. It's just people hanging out, and then it's like, I'm a prostitute. I'm like Norman Bates, and somehow this woman that looks younger than me is my mom, and we run the only motel in town. They're in like hillbilly nowhere. And of course, as you said, very aptly, I would say, is that the script went nowhere. And I can't believe the director cut any scene like with what was going on. Um, I am gonna fight you back a little bit though and say the acting was trash, like all around the room. Like that I don't think that there was a script or a director that could save that personally. Sorry to be a jerk. Go back to acting classes, guys. I'm on your side. Keep doing it. But yeah,
Well,
it was bad.
the,
Except
the,
for this lady right here.
You like that lady?
I'm like, this
the,
lady.
the, the, the
Where do I
reason
know her from? Because I swear I know her from somewhere.
I
And I
couldn't
did
tell you,
not
but
look it up.
the reason I kind of brought up that a lot of times I will blame, the script or the director before I blame some of the acting is because there are times, and it happened several times during this film, where the line delivery was just so off and so weird and so strange that, come on, the director's there to direct the actors. If there is something wrong there, could you not give them another take? 2 or 3 takes? Could you not direct them? Can you not tell them you need to do it a little bit more like this, a little bit more like that? You know what I mean? I get the feeling that this is one of those situations where they had a limited time, a limited amount of budget, and they just kind of went with it, and whatever they got is what they got, and that was it.
I agree. I had never heard of this movie or anything. I watched it, and I mean, you had told me we're gonna do another Donna Lee Heising movie because we had done one before, and whatnot. But I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of knew what I was gonna get into because, but it does feel like this was ghost directed by Dustin Ferguson, because Dustin Ferguson is a director who did Robo Woman, which Donna was in. But it was the problem with Dustin is a lot of walking and talking, but nothing happening.
Nothing happens.
Right? I saw that Riff Tracks did this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you know that? So Riff Tracks did this movie, and they said it had a bunch of the people from was it Apex Predators, right? Which it was a shark movie that had no shark, right? Basically,
Why would you have a shark in a shark movie?
I don't know. But it was like something like that. And that's sort of what this movie feels like. This feels like a revenge film with no revenge. Like nothing happens really throughout the whole movie. And
you're take this crap back. Take this crap back. You need to take this crap back. Do you understand? Take this crap back.
Oh,
do you understand?
What is the crap? I was dying to know the whole time. I was looking at it like, those vitamins? What is that?
Yeah, and then on top of that,
he was breathing. He was breathing.
I was saying that the whole time. I was going, he was breathing. He was saying, so Leila, just so you know, there's a guy named Neil Breen. He's a terrible director. He usually casts himself in every movie that he does, usually playing a god of some sort or something.
The god, the greatest god ever.
The greatest god ever. The goat of all gods. And what he does in every one of his movies, he will repeat everything like he's saying, basically. So he'd be like, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? And he'll do that.
I can't believe you did this. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And he'll just do this over and over.
Yeah.
The same thing with this guy.
The same thing with this guy. And I don't know why directors do that, or actors. Like, why? And as actors, please, for the love of God, if you see something like that, say something. Say,
yes.
Look, this is bad. Can we just do one of them? Because
in defense of that, as a trained actor, I do have to step in and say that when you see the same line in a script repeatedly over and over again, you're supposed to say it.
Uh-oh.
And so it's like at first, like this, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? It should be different every time you're saying it. It shouldn't be what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And that was what we were seeing with that guy. So I do have to step up and say that that's not the writer's fault if the actor doesn't know what they're doing with the material.
Well, it's also the director's fault. If the director was planned.
I say there's enough fault between all three. So, yeah. And in this case, the writer and the director happen to be the same guy. And he's the guy who's doing the lines. So if anybody knows the motivation or anything behind the character, it should be this guy.
Right.
So I point that moment up as a complete failure as the actor, writer, and director. Okay? That's kind of like emblematic.
Now that I didn't know, so yeah.
You didn't realize that actor...
He's going straight to jail. Yes.
You didn't realize that the director, writer, editor, public camera guy... He did everything, I think.
That's Walter Hochbrunner.
I mean, the film is definitely emblematic of that. That's all I buy it.
It was terrible.
Yeah. It reminded me.
I'm sorry.
It reminded me of that scene. I forget the guy's name. The guy who was in Barry Lyndon, where he's in that one film where he's like, "Oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh man, oh God, oh
This is the
God, oh
only
man.
time you'll compare Stanley Kubrick to this
I know.
director. Do you
Wait, no,
realize
that's
that?
not a Stanley Kubrick movie. He was just happened to be in the Stanley Kubrick.
Right, but Barry Lyndon was the Stanley Kubrick movie, so
Yeah.
somebody put
I just can't
they
remember the actor because I don't have brain cells anymore.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, what were you saying, Lila? You were
Oh,
saying
I was
something.
just gonna say one of the things that I really actually loved about this movie is that brother in the bar with the guitar who was doing covers was kind of sick. Honestly, the soundtrack was a little bit legit. The intro song, Paradise Motel. I was texting Jonathan, like I said, and he said, "But is it as good as Baby Ghost?" Basically, that's what he asked me, and I was like,
A
"There will never
constant
be
soundtrack.
another Baby Ghost." Sorry,
Yeah.
so give it up. But
And it was
I will say that
Ryan
the intro
O'Neal.
song is a lot of fun. It's basically like murder's gonna happen at the Paradise Hotel, and you're like, wait a minute, what's? Because I couldn't tell when when you're opening a Tubi movie that says MA, mature adult. You're like, okay, so what former Skinamax did this come from? You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna be like quasi pornographic or whatever? And so I was like, ooh,
No,
okay,
no.
what do we? You know,
I
Well,
wouldn't
there
give you
was
that.
not a thing.
Yeah,
almost.
no, there
With
were a
the
couple of times when I first saw this that I got extremely worried that we were going to have a shower scene that I didn't want to see, and I was going to have to pour
it
bleach
was
in my
so
eyes.
close though.
But
It was
we managed to
close.
skate that, fortunately. But if
I don't know.
I wouldn't give you something too objectionable, Lila.
No,
So.
no. I mean, I would laugh at that. Honestly, like I'm not so clutching my pearls over that. But I also have a question, and maybe one of you all can clear this up for me. Does she or does she not have nipples? Because
I, we've
I
never
mean,
seen her
maybe there were
naked.
maybe there were pasties involved, but when she did that side turn in the shower, I was like,
I don't want to know. I think I wiped that from my memory.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen her fully nude or anything, which I'm okay with. Like, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think that's been in the films and stuff.
Paul said,
I
And you
don't
know,
no.
I tend to think that if it had been another actress, probably Mr. Hochbrunner would have insisted on that. I get that feeling, but with Donnelly Heising, it's a little bit different. So if you'll give me a moment, I want to talk a little bit about the folks who are involved in this film and give you a little idea about some of the background. So again, the writer and director is Walter Hochbrunner. He is also the guy that played Eric, the awful husband who kept reading over and over and over. He is typically an actor, and he was in such films as Coast Mafia, Ballet of Blood, White Slaves of K-Town, Blood Tulips, and a few other things, and a few shorts, and a few other things like that. He's directed some shorts, he's directed some TV series episodes, and I believe this is his one feature film. So there's that. Donnelly Heising plays Nikki / Joan Crawford, which I had to laugh. I was like, really? No. She has been in a million movies: Club Lingerie, After School Massacre, Circus of Dread, Axe Grinder 2,
Robo Woman,
Moon of the Blood Beast, Robo Woman, as we mentioned before, Amityville, Karen, Amityville, this and that. All the
Apex Predators, you know,
Apex
a bunch of them.
Predator. The thing about her that kind of established her is way back in the day, she had an uncredited moment in an actual real film, Blade Runner. She was a showgirl who's sort of in the background, and she's kind of ridden that into an actual career. She was also in a movie called My Science Project, which is, in the 80s, it was kind of a crap film, but it was a full-length film. And she was in a bunch of 80s TV series. But mostly the thing about Donnelly Heising, and by all accounts, she's a very nice person, to know. She seems to have two hobbies. The first is plastic surgery to keep herself either young or pretty. I'm not really sure what she's going for. And B, she likes to spend money on independent film to secure roles. A lot of time, lead roles. Now that's not shocking or new. That happens in Hollywood and side Hollywood
Purpose.
forever. Yes. And that's why she gets a lot of producer credits too, because she will cough up the dough and say, "Hey, here's 50,000 or whatever. I'm the lead role." And someone says yes. Someone says yes, sure.
Walter says yes.
Walter says yes. I can't say that she's the best actress I've ever seen. I can't say she's the worst actress I've ever seen. But this is Donna, and this is her thing going. I get the feeling this is going to go on for quite some time.
Mhm.
So there you go.
She's also, by the way, she's also an interviewer as well. She does an
Mhm.
interview called Eye on America. So she actually interviews people on the red carpet and stuff like that.
There
So
you
she's
go.
been doing this for years and stuff. She's very sweet. She was really nice to me until I guess Dustin told her to unfriend me or something.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then now I'm
She's
no
in
longer friends.
Dustin's stable of actors
Yeah,
that he
he doesn't
uses
like
over and
me,
over.
so we're not friends,
Oh.
and you know, it's okay.
Yeah, it
I'll live.
happens.
You
I'll
know,
live.
to her credit though, I'm looking, she's a Virgo. She was born in August of 53. And, when you think about it, we're talking about an almost 72-year-old woman. And, when you put it in that context, for going after, the plastic surgery or whatever else she likes to do with herself, like, not bad. You know what I mean? For
Hmm.
70s, not bad. You
Yeah.
know?
Could be
I didn't
worse.
realize that. I guess when I was watching it, I mean, she, because she is very sweet, when she talks and is very soft and like kind of high pitched voice, it did read much younger to me. So good for her. So she
Yeah.
just looks
Yeah.
kind of like a young person with bad plastic surgery,
Yeah.
you know?
And
So
we also
well
have
done, sis.
Mel Novak, who's been in a million different movies. He's probably most famous for Game of Death back in 1978, the
With
Bruce
Bruce
Lee
Lee.
film. But towards the back end of his career, like a lot of actors, you get what you can get. And it's mostly been, pretty bad, awful indie trash, including such things as Space Sharks, which I'm going to do on Indie Film Cafe. Can't wait. Mega Ape, Big Freaking Snake, and there's just a whole
All
bunch.
of them
He's
are Dustin movies, dude.
Yeah, I know. He's in that stable of
Well, he was in
actors.
the stable.
He
He's no
was.
longer
He's
alive.
passed away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
God rest him.
Crystal, who was the brunette who gets picked up, and then she ends up in the exact same place. Who would have thought? Uh, Played by Angel Princess. I'm sure when she was born, her mom looked down and said, "Your name is Angel Princess." Um, She was in a movie called 40 Days, and then short of that, she's been in a bunch of TV episodes, a bunch of shorts, and a bunch of uncredited roles where she's sort of popped in. Um, Misty, who I believe is the
The blonde
blonde,
girl. Yep.
is played by Yanel Gibson, who again is in a bunch of shorts, TV episodes, and uncredited bits and pieces.
She's been in a lot of Chris Notarili's fan films. So she was Tiffany in the Tiffany and Chucky series of shorts that Chris Notarili did. She's in a bunch of other stuff. I looked her up and I was like, because I was like, I know that girl from somewhere. And the fact that I've loved, like, Tiffany is one of my favorite characters from the
And
Chucky
the
franchise.
one feature film that I saw that she was in was called Pieces of Victory, which I have not seen, but it seems like this was an opportunity to give some folks who'd been doing background stuff and TV episodes, guest starring, little bits, pieces here and there, a chance to do something a little bit more. I just wish that they had been given a much better script and better direction and all that, because now the story is very strange. Can anybody sort of sum up what the devil happens in this film?
You want to do it, Lila? You're always good at that.
I mean, you managed to talk about Octoman. You can talk about this one.
I mean, I hate to say it, and you're going to probably be very surprised to hear me say this, but this is probably one of the stinkiest films, if not the stinkiest film I have
I
ever
don't know.
watched with you guys.
I don't know. You
Wow.
a zombie cop you hated with a passion.
Well, but yeah, I know, which is saying something.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
But I get the
the
feeling you
only
didn't hate this film, right?
there wasn't enough to hate. In order to truly have hate, you have to have something about it you
Yeah,
care about,
yeah.
and that was kind of my problem with this film is that, it was like we introduced an idea, okay, this poor woman is being battered. This is very sad. She's escaping her husband. This is a great premise to start from. Anything can happen on the open road. Okay, I love
What?
I love how every time she picks up a hitchhiker, she drives with them for approximately 3 minutes. And then once again, I guess she's braining them or whatever, but she says, I'm getting tired. I have to stop for the night. Like every 3 minutes. And she does this like at least twice, maybe three times. But I don't know. It was
I think it was
I
twice,
gotta
but
And
I got a kick
what are
out of
you
that.
running from?
I was like,
That's
bitch, if
the
you're
other
tired,
thing.
just stop already. Like, what do you mean? But no, yeah, the best way to sum up this movie, in my opinion, was a movie about a destination that goes nowhere. The reason why I hate this film, well, I don't hate it, but like I don't love it, and the reason why I think it's one of the stinkiest and worst is because nothing happens.
mm,
Nothing happens. There's like these splatters of an idea. Okay, battered woman. Now she's got a knife. Now there's some other person over here, maybe a hooker. It's like we're throwing around all these very interesting characters, which you have so much freedom to do anything with. But the storyline, there isn't one. It's like, okay,
You
we're all
beautiful people
here.
have to stick together.
And
yes.
I'm wondering where they were. I was like, where'd they go?
Well,
Like
here's
just
the
kidding. Crystal and yeah, they're cute. They were
here
cute.
here's the thing that really annoyed me is the fact that these hookers, I guess, that were on the road hitchhiking. One was wanted to go to California for whatever reason. The other one wanted to
Yes,
go to
God.
Phoenix for whatever reason. Both of them are in what is it? They're in the car talking to Donna's character, and everything about the stuff that's going on. And then it turns out they don't need to go those places. They're staying home because they're hookers. So what was the point of this? Like, was it to try to get her to like come join them in some kind of way or something? Or do
That would
they
have been
just get
interesting.
Because the world is so incredibly tiny, you're not going to find anybody else on the road except for the two people who happen to be at the exact same Fleabag Nowhere motel that you're trying to stay at. Obviously.
Mhm. Yeah.
Exactly. And these two girls have like this Eileen Wuornos thing going on that is so interesting, that anything could happen with. And it's just like, what is the point?
Did you guys catch on to this, by the way? The two girls are talking at one point about like guys that they like. One of them turns out to be either their brother or cousin because
Yikes.
yeah, because they all have the last name Evans at the end and everything. So I was like going, because she was like, "Oh, I don't like that guy. He's got bad breath." But oh man, I like that other one. The other one was the one we saw. I think his name was Kevin. So it was Kevin Evans. Like it was the weirdest fucking movie I've ever
I,
seen.
I mean,
I
but it
was
was just so
confused.
dull because nothing happened.
I was
Yeah.
confused about something. Maybe you guys can enlighten me. It is what's her name? Oh God, the chick with the. I mean, she's the one, the one of the two ones. She's the one who gets killed, right? She's the one
That's
who
what I
just.
was gonna ask you guys. Didn't this bitch die? So what do you mean? Why
So
is she
then we
still
see her
serial
again,
killing
and I'm like,
people?
wait,
Which
what?
one? Which one died?
Um, it was
Crystal,
Crystal,
because she came in the shower with a mask and she
right?
had a knife and she was like, "I'm gonna get you," while
And
she's in the
Yeah.
shower
apparently Donna Lee was showering with the knife, as you
with the
do.
knife, as one does.
That's right. But was it her or was it someone else?
That's the thing. There was no one else in the film, so
I
who in the hell else could it have been?
I
Because
really
later
And you
we
know
couldn't
see
what's
her.
tell.
interesting about that as well is that later on, when I'm sorry, when Nikki Joan Crawford is going into the bar or whatever, I guess the same night or the next morning, also time issue there, continuity. Um, she overhears on the news, we're looking for a blonde, regular built woman who is known for murdering like middle-aged men, and all of a sudden she gets really nervous. And to our knowledge, she hasn't killed anyone yet. So why are you nervous, girl? Like, what do you mean? When
And
it
where
turns
did
out
the
that the other
body go?
blonde, normal, exactly, was probably, presumably killing middle-aged men. Because she actually does it in the film. So it's really
Yeah.
interesting because now there's this whole backstory with her that we never explain or
Well, I mean,
justify.
I took that as that she got nervous because she thought that maybe people would pull her over because they would mistaken her for, a blonde who's going around murdering people, that kind of thing. So I didn't think anything of it when she kind of like flinched a little bit. I was like thinking, oh, she probably thinks that because
Yeah, but in film though, like because you're telling stories without words when stuff like that happens, that's the job
that's the
that
subtext,
yeah, that is the subtext, is
right.
that it's
I was
foreshadowing that
confused.
she is also secret. Me too. And I'm like, Crystal is a zombie. Bitch came back from the dead
And like normal though, she not
Us
a
and loves
normal
not.
reggae.
zombies have to stick together. And it was just strange. And then they seem to want to try to paint Mal Novak's character as if he's some kind of dangerous person. He's reading Human Taxidermy by Norman Bates. Get the hell out of
It's
here.
giving Norman Bates.
And
Exactly.
then
Yeah.
he's
Like,
trying to be tough. I'm like, dude, you're like 79 million years old and you're fragile as hell. Who the hell do you think you're going to scare? You're in,
when he
seriously.
was calling his mom mother, I thought that he was like talking to his wife, like a la people under the stairs, like when they were talking to each other. And they ended up being like his actual mom. And I'm like, wait a minute, sir, that woman is 50 years younger than you. What do you mean this is your mom? You lied.
Yeah, it's supposed to be some kind of nod, I guess, to Psycho. I guess it's supposed to be funny, but it's not funny. It's weird and confusing.
Well,
Him
it
doing
would
the
have
middle finger though was like a
been cool
moment.
if his mom wasn't alive and he was just still talking to his mom, and
Something.
Right.
stuff, something like that. That would have been fun. But
And that's
like,
how it felt initially, because you don't
right.
see her for a while.
You don't see her, you just hear her, but everybody else hears her too. So that's why I was like, she's alive, she's there, she's just off screen, or whatever, which is once again, that's annoying because they could have gone with some cool ideas with this, but then they just sort of made it weird. Like
And it
that's
doesn't add anything except it adds to the whole confusion of the film.
mm,
It
yeah.
just feels like not only was this not even this, I can't even call this half baked. This is like a quarter baked or an eighth baked.
This
Somebody
is batter, baby. What do you mean? Like,
Well, I think
somebody needed to go through this with a fine tooth
maybe they
comb
didn't have a
and
script.
get
Maybe
rid
it
of
was
it.
all improv. That's what it
sometimes
feels
I
like.
wondered that. Honestly,
I wondered that
you
too.
saying that is not too crazy. It almost felt like everyone just went in there. I was like, just live,
Just
And there
yeah,
are
It
directors and writers who
explains
do that.
it
my friend
explains
Rob.
why a number of the lines are utilized over and over and over because he's dude's not the only one to repeat the same things, even if it's not in the same scene. It's a lot of the same dialogue.
Okay, so there's two things. So
Mhm.
Robert Elkins is a guy that I work with that does improv and stuff, and he's very good at it. He's actually good at telling you what to do and how to say these things, and kind of he knows what he wants in his head. And I think he might even write things out sometimes or whatever. But by the way, we interviewed him recently, Paul and I, and he loved it. He loved the
Yeah,
interview.
it
He
was
had
fun.
such a great time. But then but then at the end of the movie you see all like the clips of everybody and they're saying it all in like one take and everything. I think it's literally he tells them what to say sort of, and they just kind of go off and say whatever, and then he just piece these things together because this does not feel like a real script. This feels like half baked because I think they didn't have a real story. They're trying to figure it out as they went. And that's not how you make a movie. I hate to say it. You don't make a movie figuring out as you go. You have either a script or you have an outline. And with that outline, you can kind of tell people what to do or where to go
And
from it.
here's the thing, Mr. Hochbrunner has apparently worked in the business before, so he should understand this. So the only reason I can think that this was the approach was because there must have been some kind of a time issue or some kind of a money issue. There had to have been some kind of pressure that did not allow things like fleshing out the story, having a good script, having a script, having multiple takes, having dialogue that actually sounds like it came from a human being. It just seems weird. Yeah, a lot of these things that they say, I'm like, no, nobody says that.
Nobody acts like that. Nobody. I mean, the
I'm gonna play
cousins.
Star Spangled Banner with this on you. What?
Well, like the cousins, like the hooker cousins, like all of a sudden they get like it gets really weird, and I'm like, okay, but like expand on that. Don't just make a weird scene and then just go on. You know what I mean? Like,
This, by all intents and purposes, you could have even followed the whole rubric of just make up the lines as you go if you had been honest about it and just full on made this a slasher film. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, this had the makings of a decent slasher film. Like, why was it not a slasher film, guys? Like,
But IMDb classifies this as a thriller. Get the
Huh.
fuck out of here.
What
It's not a
thrills?
thriller.
What thrills?
I
You know,
don't
and then
know.
there's just weird scenes that happen, and I don't understand why they're in the film. Okay, for example, the first time that we see Crystal when she's getting picked up, and then she's going to get dumped because she only wants to go like 2 miles down the road,
Well, no,
and
she doesn't.
she
Uh,
yeah, but
Donna
you know what
wants
I
to
mean.
drop her off, and
So
like,
she's like, "Oh, can I give you a kiss?" And she's like, that's a little weird." Okay, and I get that. And then she
right.
kind of leans over and gives her what looks to be just a quick peek. And then Donnelly Heising's character reacts. She's like, "That's really strange." And I'm like, "Wait, did I miss something? What was that? What was so strange about it? I don't get it."
I think we did miss something. I think something either happened like in another cut or something, and they just used the other cut because you're right. She goes to give her like this like peck on the cheek, and then the girl's like, "Oh my God, how do you do?" You're right. Like,
Yeah,
it,
I'm
Like,
guessing she slipped
what?
her the tongue.
yeah,
But, like,
Or
you didn't
grabbed a
see it.
boob or something?
yeah,
Something.
and we never saw it, or whatever, and so we have no idea what's going on. It
It's
was weird.
probably on the editing room floor somewhere.
I,
Yeah.
but I mean, things like that should have been put in the movie, unless it didn't like come out good when they were shooting it, right? And that could be the case, is some scenes didn't come out good, so they couldn't put that in there because it would look bad, right? And everything, and we still wouldn't understand what's going on, and it would just look terrible. So they just left it on the cutting room
And
floor.
sometimes Crystal and Misty,
Mm.
I didn't quite get it. Like sometimes they felt like they were strangers that hadn't met before, and then other times it's like, oh, these guys have been hanging out for a while.
They're
Like when they
cousins.
decide to start dancing in the bedroom together,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like, wait a second, that's like they don't know each other. But how could you not know each other? Haven't you been doing all of this garbage
They're
together?
cousins.
But also, like, there was at least a week that passed, right?
Right.
Since old girl Nikki Joan left the Paradise Motel. So at this point, maybe they're just like, "Hey, you're a toot, I'm a toot. Like, you want toot together?" And I think that may have also just been what happened. But once again, this is one of the reasons why you will always hear me say, when it comes to anything that I watch or write or act in, how important the relationships are. That's the first thing I'm looking for.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So to create this camaraderie and closeness between them without any kind of backstory is very empty and hollow. And, sticking her in hills after she just climbed out of bed, there's just so many different things. Like, they're just
Well,
not fitting together, that were just kind of sliced and diced and sort of jammed in. And I'm guessing the film was probably stupidly long before this
right. Well,
and full of a lot of stuff they couldn't use.
another thing is the woman that's behind you, Lila, the bartender, the one you like. She's either the aunt or the mother of these girls and everybody. We
Well,
don't know
actually,
this.
I'm going to have to beg to differ because I looked her up. And you know what? It turns out that she is starring as herself in the film.
Oh, no, no,
Yep.
no, no, no.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
Is that not her?
no, that's not her. That's another lady.
Okay, Jackie
No,
Evans.
she is. Yeah, she's Jackie Evans.
I
Or whatever.
swear I know her from somewhere, though. Somebody
Uh,
tell me what I know her from.
Vera Taylor is her real
Sarah
name.
Taylor.
And
I swear I've
so
seen
she
her.
plays Jackie Evans. So she is Crystal and Misty's and Kevin's, like either mom or aunt or something.
Kevin's the
But
idiot with the cowboy hat,
yeah, the
right?
one who wanted to hit on. And
Right.
she was, and there's a scene with him, and her talking about how he's gonna go nail, that girl and everything like that. And I'm like, ew, now, like, what? Why is this happening? Why are these
Well,
family
and he kept
members talking
saying,
so much?
the swimsuit model. And I'm like, surely he's not referring to Donnelly Heising. He's referring to one of the two younger babes,
Well,
right?
maybe. Could
No.
be. Well, I mean, he's not, but he should be because he likes his cousins, apparently. He liked, it's just, I don't understand any of this movie. I don't
It's
think,
a weird, weird movie. A weird, poorly done movie.
And
So
that's just the thing is that it's also like a nothing movie. Nothing happens. It's about no one. It's, I don't know what my camera's doing here. Or
you,
camera.
you,
Hello.
you
there
got
we
all
I
go.
have
blurry for a
a
second.
kitty.
You've got Kitty.
This Miss Echo. She's
Hi,
lovely.
Oh,
Gecko.
She likes to be with her mommy. Sorry about that.
yes. No, don't be
No, no,
sorry.
no problem.
But
We
no,
love critters.
actually, we do love. But Vera Taylor actually was on American Horror Story.
Nice.
It says, I
Oh.
wonder, but it says she was just an older woman, so she could have been anybody. So what does that even mean?
All right, she was probably an extra on that. No, like, a small part. But
I mean,
still,
same.
that is awesome. I mean, to be on a show like that and to have
To be
something.
credited on IMDb, though, it might
Yeah.
have been like at least
Now,
walk-on role or something.
I have to disagree with Lila on one tiny thing with regards to the scene where you go in and dude is up there playing his guitar and everybody's like loving it. It was bad. It was just like, oh my
The
God, this is
Marshall
one of
Tucker
those-
band cover was kind of like tone
the
deaf,
saddest dance party vibes coming off of
but
that.
the actors were not selling that dance party. That was on them. We're not gonna blame the writing on that one. That was
We've seen.
white people can't dance sort of moment.
Oh God, you need to see. There's a movie called Get Even,
Like-
and it's got some of the worst kind of dance
Please,
things.
you must watch that.
It's so bad. And it's got country music in
Well,
it. or
apparently I'll watch
whatever.
anything. So
That's one of the reasons why we love you so much, Lila.
Yes,
But
we'll
no,
always
I
have
have
you
to
back.
say this was my least, maybe this might be my least favorite out of
there you go.
everything we've ever watched, because there's usually something I can pick out of everything that we watch. But like, I love that, or this is so fun, whatever. But there's nothing to pick at. There's nothing here. There's
I
no
mean,
volume. There's
also,
no
you-
material.
I showed you Terror. Was it Bigfoot Creek or whatever?
Bigfoot Pond.
Bigfoot
Bigfoot
Oh,
Pond,
that
Puddle.
was bad.
Bigfoot
Oh, it was
Puddle.
bad. But at
That's
least
what I call it because
but
it's
things were happening.
nothing.
We had a storyline. It was progressing. Even if it's not great, there's still something happening.
Mm.
You know what I mean? This just
That's
looked
true.
like a bunch of bad reels that could have been from different movies that got Frankenstein together. Like, the human centipeded a movie. And and the sad thing is it doesn't work. I think
Yeah.
it's dead. I think
This
it's
is
dead.
his.
You know what I mean?
This is his beaut. This is his baby. This is his feature-length film. This is the one he wrote. This is the one he's put all his energy and time and effort into. This.
And he was
Right.
planning a sequel.
Oh God.
Because
Yeah.
at the end of it, it was like, and we were talking, Lila and I were talking, and, we brought up like Kill Bill, and it could have been called Kill
Annoy
Joan,
Bill.
Kill Joan, or Kill Joan Crawford, or whatever. And I was like, that's too cool of a title. Don't.
Nikki or Joan Crawford, whatever you call yourself. I'm coming after you.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was awful.
And it's
It-
like, why though?
Yeah. Like, what did she do?
There's nothing else better to do.
She like didn't interact with anybody. She didn't even make friends along the way. She was just
Right.
like, I'm just here for one night. Bye. I thought they were
And-
gonna kill her. I was like, please, something.
We
Kill-
can
somebody die.
agree that it was Eric, the horrible husband, who is the victim. Who's the stupid
Clearly.
idiot who lays down and lets her, basically stab him up because he was stupid. That
Yeah.
was him, right?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure because when he was in bed and he had that goofy, weird smile on his face, I couldn't tell exactly who that was.
No, that was him. He was the one. He was there for the whole time. Like, he was the one who checked in with her and all this other stuff. Maybe that's what he looks like when he makes a goofy smile. I don't know.
But respectfully, also, like, imagine being 1,000 years old and beating your wife and then chasing her across the country. That guy was at least 3,200 years old. At least.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, to be fair, our main dame here is also quite old, it seems. She's like in her 70s. Or, well, I guess she was close to 70 at the time she was doing this film. And it's like, this is just like, I mean, the whole time I'm watching the film, I'm just like, what in the zombie apocalypse? Like, there's a lot of animated corpses around here, and then like 2 young girls.
Yep, exactly. And it
Everybody's
definitely
old
had
as hell, and I'm sorry, but like old. Like,
It
this should
had
have all been in a
sex
nursing home.
vibes. Sex Ed vibes. And Lila, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the movie Sex Ed, do yourself a favor, Pull that up however way you can and watch that. Trust me.
It's
You,
terrible. It's
you
got
need to see it.
what's the girl's name
Mae
in it?
West.
Mae West. Oh my God.
9,000-year-old Mae West doing the whole
God
sex pot
bless her.
routine.
Yeah.
God bless her. Mae West can do it as long as she wanted to, as far as
Well,
I'm
that's the
concerned.
I
funny
would have
thing.
said that until I saw this film.
It was pretty bad. Paul seems to find the really bad like movies like that. Like there's another movie called Wonton Ton, the dog that saved Hollywood, and it was just a bunch of really good actors and really bad movie. You know, like these were like big stars that should be not doing
Madeline
this.
Kahn. Madeline Kahn's wonderful.
I love
Madeline,
Madeline Kahn. I will do anything for her.
And she
yeah.
was in this movie. The dog tries to commit suicide by putting its head in an oven. That gives you I know, it gives you an idea where this movie
Well,
is.
and then Joe Turk, that was the scene that broke Joe
That broke
Turk.
him.
Yeah. 'Cause you couldn't see that. He loves dogs so much he couldn't see. Did not like that. I mean, obviously it was fake, but it was weird. Like, how do you don't train a dog to put his head in an oven? Like, that's terrible. But this movie, I don't know, I think this is the movie that broke Lila, you know.
That
Yeah.
could be.
This might be the one, honestly. Like, I don't know. But this movie is so bad that we're talking about it. We're talking about other movies to escape it
I
right now.
know.
I was just saying.
I know.
But you know, like I love this idea that we kind of loosely had when we were talking last time. I don't remember what we called it. There, I fixed it or whatever. Like things that we could do
Mhm.
to make the script better potentially. And since that seems to be everyone's like qualm here, like if you all could add one thing to the film that you think would make it better in tradition of us like rewriting or like sequeling or remaking films, what would you do?
Me, I would ball up the script and toss it in the trash. That would make it much better.
I would actually rewrite the script, but with like to make actual sense. That's all I would do
Good
because
luck.
like it could have had a cool premise. Okay, I think the movie was made because the Walter guy knew a place called Paradise Motel. He was able to
Paradise.
get it. He was able to get it, you know, and then which made no it was Paradise Motel in Paradise, California, or something like that. I don't know, but he's you know, and it's out in like the desert apparently,
You
you know,
probably
or whatever.
passed it the day when I drove you up.
Probably. And so, yeah, the day right before I moved in with Lila, you know, and everything. But
We all could have met there. How
we
interesting is that?
could have met at Paradise,
I know, and that's when
California.
like we wouldn't have had anything to say to each other because the dialogue's poorly written in that space, apparently.
No, but I'm sure it said we beautiful people have to stick together.
Hey,
Do you understand? Do you understand? Am I understood? Do you
Put that
understand?
crap back.
what are you doing? Take it back. Take
I
it back.
need
Take this
these
trash back.
things.
This is garbage.
I
Take it
need
back.
these things.
But
I
see,
need them.
that's the
Stop spending
thing.
money on vitamins.
I literally don't think this was a script, and I think it needed a script and a story, and I think there could have been some cool things they could have done with it. They could have made it where, like you said, Lila, it could have been a slasher, where it's those girls are going off killing people at the Paradise Motel or whatever, you know, and they were bringing people from that bar, you know, or whatever. And that was the other thing is she wanted to she wanted to get to the place and she dropped off two hookers off and said, I want to get, you know, I'm going to drop you guys off because I want to go, you know, lay, you know. And I'm like thinking, like, are these chicks happy that they just now have to go hitchhike, you know, right? Like some more to get wherever they're going? Like, I mean,
Or was she a
It's like
potential victim?
he watched Psycho
You
and
know?
said, let's do something similar but completely different. And so he's got this blonde running away from something and ends up in this motel with Norman Bates. And somebody gets killed, and it's supposed to be a thriller. Personally, I would have given her a lot more motivation. I would have said, "Okay, sure, abusive husband, that's one thing," but I would have had her like steal something from him to get him back, to really get him,
I,
you know,
Love that.
committed
I
to
didn't
hunting
even,
her down.
I didn't even
Or
think
she saw
about it.
him kill someone or something. You know what I mean?
Something,
Like she knows something she shouldn't know, and
right?
she's
I,
yeah.
I didn't think about that. there's the shower scene, kind of like in Psycho,
Hmm.
Right.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so there were a lot of Psycho references,
Yes,
and
there
yet they
were.
didn't do anything with them, really.
No,
They were
they did
just,
not.
it was just like, oh, we know Psycho exists, so we're gonna bring three different scenes that have, because you said
He's
she was
paying
running
homage to
from
maybe his
something.
favorite film.
She was running away from a abusive husband, which is different, but similar because she was running away from the law, or whatever, like her boss and all the stuff in Psycho. Janet Leigh was, and she was blonde, so there were things that
And you
I'm like,
thought there was going to be a Psycho scene with the knife, and then it turned out no.
well, no, because and I like that. If they had actually made it more looking like, what could have been cool? One thing I would have done a bit differently is I would have had a scene where the girl, was it Donna Lee Heising has the knife in her? We don't know this. The girl comes in, she stabs her, and the blood goes down the drain. Like, perfect. That's a
Where
great
was she
homage.
keeping the knife in the shower?
I don't want to know.
Was she just holding it the entire time while you shower? It's just, this seems, I don't know, strange.
Uh, the
Is
whole
it
movie.
around her neck?
By the way,
Fine
wasn't
question.
wasn't that supposed to be nighttime? Did you look outside? It was freaking day.
I know.
You
Constantly
could
it was day.
Yeah.
day. So like I'm like, this is weird. Like it was supposed to be nighttime because she came in tired and wanted to go, and then she went to the bar, and then she came home and showered, and then I thought it could have been like the next day or something, but like then you go back to the bar that night, and
Hmm.
then all of a sudden it's like a week later. Like none
Right.
of it, like and
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 Continuity
why was
issues.
Misty gonna kill her anyway? Weren't they supposed to be killing middle-aged men who were like, making passes at them? What did she do anything?
Or abusive middle-aged men at
Yeah,
that, because early in the film she alluded to the fact that she was leaving her father's home because he was battering her,
right.
and she commiserates with Nikki Joan over the fact that she's been hit and she can
So what is
tell.
her
So
motivation for doing that? The motivation is because the movie wants there to be a parallel Psycho scene. That's why, which is
hmm
ridiculous.
yeah. So
right.
it's like let's figure out how to make this work, but it didn't work, and it would have been cooler if it were Mel Novak's character, or something. He like, but I guess that would have been
One
too
of
on the
these
nose.
one of these days, we're gonna all gather together in California, in LA. We're gonna meet up, and we are gonna sit down as a threesome and hash out a new version of this film. We're gonna come up with a film that's much, much better, and it's gonna make sense
Yeah, just like we
because
did for Future Kick.
there you
Yeah.
go. We can do this with, there are enough dregs of a story here
All
that
right,
we
all
could
right,
put
all
them
right.
together.
I'll get the implants and I'll dye my hair, whatever we got to do.
You gotta
I'll
do the
take.
facial surgery and stuff.
No, God, no, please don't. Please don't.
Actually, we like you just the way you are.
You're
You know.
perfect. Don't
God
go
bless.
messing anything.
I
So
was
I guess that means I'm gonna be Angel Princess in the movie then.
there. You go.
I don't get the lead. You guys.
No, no, we will give you the lead. We
Because
will
ours
just,
will be a different story. It'll be through
yes,
Angel Princess's point of view and
yes.
everything, and make more sense as to, and she'll murder the other woman for real and not be a zombie.
Right.
Come back as a zombie. It was so strange. It was, that we were talking about it. I was actually thinking you might be right. With the whole weirdness with, I mean, because the weirdness with her giving the kiss and everything, she might have been trying to kill her in the car. You know, she might have been trying to kill. We don't see it or whatever, but she's like, "You're weird. Get away. Get
That's
away."
one of those
And
things
everything.
where our brains desperately trying to make a connection that makes some kind of
Well, I
sense.
mean, but I'm just saying because later she does try to kill her. So maybe she did try to do something and she pushed her away from her or whatever. I
I
don't know.
just think she's a poorly written sketch of a character and nothing makes any kind of sense and there's no, continuity for
All
her.
right, you're taking
So,
the fun out of every,
I
thing.
know.
It's fine. Whatever.
No, the
Uh,
chick, the woman behind the bar there, she should have been the serial killer. That would have been fun.
yeah. Well, no,
Right?
Ah,
because she had no.
Oh, okay. We love a twist. I mean,
yes,
everybody in the movie's 1,000 years old anyway, so it doesn't even matter who's the killer at this point.
right.
Or she could have been the mom for Mel's mom. That'd make more sense too. Like,
Yeah, like they ran the motel and the restaurant.
yeah,
It was funny
Perfect.
because every time he kept saying "mom," I'm like, Mel, you're 9,000 years old. Your mom would have to be 9,050 years old. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
it didn't work out that way. No. I don't know. All the characters just weird. Everything was weird. I don't know.
And did you
Hmm.
notice the constant music and the soundtrack going on? That was
Mm.
annoying.
It was annoying, but I will say that, like I said earlier, I thought the soundtrack was kind of fun though.
It
And
was the
yeah,
better part of it.
I hated the Marshall Tucker band cover. They tried to
Ugh,
make it like a barbershop quartet with like a twangy guitar and didn't make sense. But I
that was
think the
bad.
Folsom Prison cover was good.
Mm.
Like when I heard brothers singing in the bar, I was like, wait a minute, that actually sounds kind of cute. I would be dancing. I'd be like this with everybody or whatever they're
Whatever
doing.
they were doing.
So there be country line Lila out there? Is that what we're hearing?
Well, y'all know I'm a cowgirl. Come on now.
You were on horseback. I saw that picture. Were you like shooting bow and arrow from horseback? Were you doing
Yeah, I'm a
horse
mountain
archery?
archer.
That's awesome.
Horse archery is my hobby.
That is
And
not
I'm very
easy.
good at it. It's not easy. It's very hard.
Good
And
for you.
hopefully I'll be competing maybe within the next year or so.
Well,
But
there you go. So we are going to have your character on the run on horseback with your
perfect.
bow.
Oh my God, can I stomp on my abusive ex-husband in the movie?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Trampled by horses.
Nice.
Shot by
But
arrows.
by the way, when he does the smack in the scene, that looked so terrible.
It did.
That was awful. That was, and I like, look, I'm not I don't like domestic violence. I'm not
Hell
there for
no.
that. But I'm just
It
like,
wasn't convincing.
it
Yeah,
was
you
not
don't
convincing.
really like murder. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, well,
But it's par for the course because really nothing was convincing in this film at
Not a
all.
damn thing. I'm not even convinced it was a movie. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell fever dream I just watched because nothing happened. Nothing happened.
And I'm sorry, but the fact that it's Donnelly Heising who has all of these extreme things going on adds to the whole weirdness of the film too. And then they kept referring to her, it was the same thing, only not as bad in Sexette, where they keep singing all these songs to Mae West about how young and beautiful. And I'm like, dudes, you are gaslighting yourselves. She's like, she's a million years old.
But
She's
didn't
not
she-
beautiful. She's horribly ancient.
didn't she
Listen,
write
I
it?
hope I
I'm
can
just-
live that long to be that old and that rich that I can make terrible movies where people talk about how beautiful I am. You know what? I'm in support of it. Girls supporting girls. You know what I mean? Like, you do you, girlfriend. You do you.
Yeah.
Because I am going to give Sis a little bit of credit for being in her 70s and looking like that.
Well, it was based on Mae West's play, and so I'm guessing she put that in there for herself.
Well, that's
Really?
just it. The play she was supposed to have been done back in, like, I think 1939 or 1940. It was not supposed to have been done in 1980.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
But speaking of
she
1980, did you all see the Paradise Motel from 86 that I almost watched today? Have you guys actually
Mm-mm.
seen that one?
No,
Because now I
but
want to go watch it.
A
It
companion
has my
piece.
Twin Peaks people in it. You know, Twin Peaks is my shit.
I heard it was a little culty, like it's got a cult release and stuff for it. So
Really? So it
Yeah.
might actually be fun and good.
Well, I mean, there's kind of a Twin Peaks weird vibe in this film, sort of, kind of. There's no backwards
yeah, if
talking
David
midget, but
Lynch was drinking moonshine and on mescaline, maybe. God rest him. That was a hard loss this year, y'all.
yeah,
I did not take that one well.
None of us
I was
did.
actually thinking about you when I heard,
I
You're the-
legit was at work and started crying, and I was like, "Why am I crying? This is terrible. Why am I crying?" Like, I was not. It like totally blindsided me, and it was during the fires, and just like ugh, it was just so much. It
We
was
were
so
very
much.
worried about you during the fires.
Girl, I
Yeah.
was too. Like, I mean, you should have seen outside of my window. I was like looking outside the balcony of hell. Like, it was really scary.
Hmm.
It was a terrible time for California, but I've never been prouder to be an Angelino than to see how we all banded together And during that time, I was able to start volunteering with Our Big Kitchen LA, who they make halal and kosher meals for people in the community that, need to get fed. And so I've been working with them ever since. So that was the blessing that came out of that.
And
And
let's face it, things are not 100% wonderful in LA right now either.
no, there's a lot of excitement here, that's for sure.
Ugh.
There are other fires going on right now, sadly, that are also pretty big. But yeah, I like to think of us as a stronghold for America, maybe the last one at that. So, don't
Well,
worry about it, guys. We got you over here.
stay
You know what I
safe.
mean?
That's all we're going to say. Stay safe. Use your archery skills when you have to.
I will shoot somebody in the ass with an arrow if they try it.
Oh yeah, no,
They'll shoot
I
your
believe
eye
that.
out.
Sorry, I have a dog over here that wants to get under my
Oh, baby.
desk, but
Well, I know, Lila, you have a hard cutoff, so I guess we are at that time where we need to talk
I'm
about
so sad.
scoring this film. And boy, howdy, I'm sure there's going to be an interesting score here. But just for remind those of you who either have never seen the show or just don't remember, we like to score our movies on a 1 to 10 scale, by which the lower the score, the better the film. The higher the score, think of it as a stink dial, and you're turning it way up. 10 means it's bad, and not just bad because we love bad films, but I mean problem bad, like stuff doesn't make sense, you can't see the film, you can't hear the film is incoherent dog shit, that kind of a thing. So, and then we take our 3 scores, we add it up, and then we see where on the ladder of stink this particular film happens to fall for season 8. So, who would like to score the movie first?
I'll go. We usually let our guests go last, or so. Sometimes first, but we'll let you go last because I want to hear your thoughts last. I'm gonna give it a 10. This movie was bad.
Wow.
Like this was worse than Terror Bigfoot Pond. Like this is not. I mean, I'd almost want to go 10 plus, but I don't think it deserves it because I think movies that have scripts deserve the 10 plus or something, something like that. I feel like this is bad though. This was pretty stinky. So I'm gonna say 10. What about you, Paul?
I'm right there with you, and I kept thinking I had to compare this with the last one we did with Donnelly Heising, which was Robo Woman, which was bad, really bad, but this somehow was worse. You managed to make a worse movie than Robo Woman. So 10, solid 10 for me.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. I mean, the pressure is on, obviously. I am going to, as per my usual arrangement, I'm going to reserve the 10 and I'm still going to give it a 9.5.
Okay,
This
that's
is
fair.
pretty stinky and pretty bad, but something in my gut tells me there is probably worse out there. And I also agree that it doesn't deserve more than a 10 because it doesn't feel like a real film. But I would say the thing that makes it so boring and so terrible, that's just the point. It's boring because there are a lot of films that are bad that still have something entertaining that they bring to the table, whether, it's good acting or it's, there's something amazing about it. Like Octoman, we're dealing with Rick Baker, we've got like, stuff like that. But this has nothing. This has nothing. It's a nothing made by nobodies, and I don't want to even give it my worst score yet because I don't feel like it deserves that either.
Considered a 9.5 just because I did like our 2 homicidal lady cousins in the back. I thought they were cute.
They were fun.
That was about as much, as I'm willing to give. And plus, okay, it's always fun to see Mel Novak, even though he's not in his greatest moments there. But it's still, I can't give it any. Better.
So are you gonna go? Are you gonna go with 9.5? Are you changing?
I'm sticking with the 10.
All right.
So yeah, well, and that's another reason I give it a 10 too, is the boringness of the movie. There are scenes, there's driving scenes where we just watch them drive for like forever. There's scenes where the scene goes on for too long, like Misty is in the bathroom just staring at the mirror, and I'm like,
oh my God, just the part where Crystal's getting ready to get in the shower. Like, why did that take an hour to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It was just
had the film out. That's why.
I
Yeah.
had to like pause it and keep stopping it because it was so hard to stay focused on it. Like, especially because like I had a friend here doing his homework. But like, I was also like, I just had to stop it and be like, get up and go do something. Stop it. Otherwise I was just like not really paying attention,
Mm.
because it was boring.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Boring. Be stinky, but be fun.
Yeah.
And that's
Have
just it.
fun,
This is
guys. Nobody's
supposed to
having fun in this
be
movie.
this is supposed to be a thriller. Okay, this is like like it wants to give off Lost Highway vibes. It does not.
It doesn't.
Not
And that's
even
the
No.
sad
close.
thing about this film is that the thing that would have made it better for the writer and everybody else involved from the beginning is to assign it a genre. It didn't have one. So calling it a thriller is an insult to thrillers. Calling it a slasher is an insult to the horror industry. It just
Mm.
had nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
It
nothing.
had
agree. And
nothing.
I think it's just because they had no
Genreless.
idea what to do with this story.
It
Mm-mm.
just felt like a geriatric commercial
Yeah.
where somebody's like, take back your vitamins.
Oh, yeah. I don't want your vitamins. Your vitamins can't
Eat the
stay.
cake, anime. Like,
I want to go to Hawkbruder and say, "Take this crap back. We don't need this. Take this crap back. Do you
take it
understand
back.
me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Take this crap back."
Am I
I think you should
understood?
make that video and put it on your social media and like tag him down.
Oh
I,
man.
I am not friends with him on Facebook, but I am friends with Angel Princess. So,
Oh, well, she seemed fun.
I know I
She
We'll
like
seemed
her
have
a
fun.
to
lot.
we'll have to bring her on the show on the Spotlight show and interview her and see what she says about this
I'll
film.
You have to
definitely,
bring me on that show because I would like to meet her. I'd be like,
yeah.
what was it like working in the worst movie I've ever seen?
I feel like because a lot of these actresses,
What would she
especially,
have done to make it better? What would her there I fixed it be? You know what I mean? I would want to ask her questions like that
good.
Sure.
because I feel like she was always kind of trying to keep the energy up, because the energy is so low because the acting is bad,
Call her up, Moody.
So,
Get
but
her
she
on
would
the
be
show.
like, come on, everybody, come on. You know what I mean? Like, sort of God
Mhm.
bless her for that, and that she's also like her and the other girl are the reason why I would not even give it a 10 either, because I still
Right.
felt like they tried
They
with what they
tried.
had. And
And
I
I
saw
want
that.
to give them that half point so much. It's
I'm not
like
going to give them the Academy Award for
it's
it.
like
I'm going to
holding
give them a
back
little bit of credit.
it's like holding back the tide of crap with one hand. It's a valiant effort. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they were the best part of the movie, I think. But and you thought the other woman was the best part, the Vera.
The
Oh,
bartender, just because there was something so familiar about her. I don't know. It reminded me of
so
like Cheers every time you kind of went in there because of her. She seemed like she belonged there. I believed that
Yeah,
she worked there.
she's got the kind of face that it says, "I've seen a lot of shit happen, and I got a lot of stories to tell." It would
she
have been
kind
nice if we had had some of that.
she kind
Right.
of does look like Rhea Perlman a little bit.
A little
So
bit.
She does. She
so
does.
I'll get that. All right. I guess that's about wraps it up.
Hmm.
Thank you, Lila. Thank you so much
Yay.
for
So much for
being in this.
having me. I love coming on the show with you guys.
And
Maybe next time I'll pick one.
I'm sorry it's so bad, but I mean that is kind of our bread and butter here. So
No, I love it. It's so much fun to just come and like, slash the non-slasher with you guys.
and
I know.
if you want to pick a film for us to do, feel free.
Be careful what you wish for.
I'll definitely have you come back for next season. I mean, this season's almost over, already, like recording and
Wow.
everything. So we usually get done about July, August time and stuff. So then we move on to the next season. So we'll be there pretty soon.
And if there's ever a chance you make it out east, we got a brand new studio. We'd love to show it to you.
I don't know how close you guys are to like Tennessee or Kentucky, but I think that I might be doing some mounted archery events in Tennessee and then rounding my way through Kentucky to see family. Like,
We're a good
maybe.
6 to 8, 7 hours away.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say you're pretty far, so
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll
But,
make it happen one of these
But
days.
if it happens, we'll put you up in a hotel, we'll feed you, and we'll all sit down and watch
so
a bunch of
much.
movies, and it'd be a lot of fun.
Well,
I know. When I was texting him today, I was like, oh, I just miss like how Jonathan and I would always watch movies, and we have this ongoing joke that somebody needs to go buy more popcorn, or I think we're running out of popcorn because both of us always bought so much popcorn that our house was just like
Gotta have
chock full of it.
no, it was you.
I
I
think
don't
of
think I
that
bought
every-
fan popcorn. You just like I remember one
I
day.
thought it was you, man. Like, because where was all this popcorn coming
I don't-
from? It would just like multiply.
I don't know,
In our
but
house.
I do
It's like
remember you
Gremlins.
showing me because I was like, "Do we have popcorn?" And you're like, "Do we have popcorn?" We have popcorn.
Do we
Uh,
ever? Every
yeah.
time I make popcorn, I think about that.
That's cute. No, we are doing something I think in November. Like when I come out to LA to visit, I think Lila and somebody else will come out and we'll do a indie
I'm
film
so
cafe
jealous.
weekend. Dude, if you could fly, fly
Yeah, for
out,
sure.
we would definitely love to have you
If I
out.
weren't
But
terrified of flying,
yeah,
Oh, I
and it's
know.
even worse now.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
good. Do you have your real ID and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
too? Okay.
I got it the first moment it came out in Virginia. So
Okay. Yeah, I just
Good.
got it, so I'm happy with that. And now I gotta get a passport if I ever want to go anywhere else. So,
Hmm.
fun times. But thank you, Lila. This was awesome. We always love having
hey,
you, and we'll definitely have you back for next season and everything.
absolutely. No matter how bad an experience is for a movie, if we have Lila with us, we can get through it. We can face
Oh,
it.
And it
We can
goes
face
by
the worst.
so
guys.
quickly. Even talking about a boring movie like this, it went by like that, I
Mm.
think, So
Oh,
we
I love you
appreciate you.
too.
Yes. All right, everybody, join us. I think it's gonna be next month will be my episode. I don't know exactly what it is. We never really do. So if you guys want to come check it out, we'll be back. Until
Will
then,
it be a
everybody.
Donnelly Heising film?
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah, I
think
think
there's
we need a
one.
break.
I think one per season or one every other season or whatever we've been
We'll
having it.
wait till
Let's
Fair
she's
keep it
enough.
like that.
140.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
We'll wait for the next 70 years.
yeah.
Just
So terrible. All
like
right.
Jeepers Creepers,
I
the
mean,
film industry.
we did Mummy Theme Park. She could have been in that one as a mummy.
Oh Lord.
God bless you, ma'am.
Thanks, Paul. And everybody else, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I wonder why my mom thought we were mean on that one podcast we did.
Oh,
It was the last vampire on Earth. I mean, come on.
oh, come
Yeah.
on! That was the one awful film.
All right, everybody. Hope you guys enjoy this. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye.